Hello y'all. You might notice that, based on the picture of Yoshi in the background and the unused thumbnail on the computer, this video was not originally intended to be about this topic. It was actually meant to be a ranking of every Mario Kart character, and a brief mention of some potential options of how Nintendo might handle the character select screen. I dropped the topic for a few reasons. The select screen part ultimately wasn't very long, I didn't really have many strong opinions or reasonings for most of my character choices, and then this topic came to my mind and I started doing research. And my research led me to discover a lot of things that only convinced me further to make this video about Peachette. Out of the massive roster of characters Mario Kart Tour had to offer going into Wave 6, these 4 characters were the ones to make it in. And out of the 4, one clearly stands out as not being related to Donkey Kong, that being Peachette. And I've gotta be honest, I really don't like this character at all. But even outside of my incredibly negative bias towards her, Peachette was a terrible choice for the Booster Course Pass, and I'm going to prove it right now in this video. There are so many things that I could point to here, her lack of history or recency or pretty eye contenders, but I think I'll focus on the main part of the argument here, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe itself. There's an admittedly flimsy theory that every single character is associated with a singular track in the Booster Course Pass, and going down the line we can start to see where that theory got its start. With Wave 4 we got Birdo, and her associated track is a little unclear at first glance, but I'd argue for GBA's Sky Garden to be her track. Many of her boss fights in Super Mario Bros. 2 or Super Mario USA outside of the US take place in the sky, so it makes sense, at least in my mind. As for our 3 Wave 5 characters, Petey Piranha fits the upcoming Piranha Plant Pipeline. There's an argument for Piranha Plant Cove as well, but I think Pipeline fits his aesthetic better. Wiggler gets Wii Maple Treeway for obvious reasons, and Kamek's associated track is Merry Mountain, I guess. It fit, considering Merry Mountain was the first non-city track in Tour and Kamek had his first appearance in Tour as well, but also because Kamek looks like Turtle Santa, but blue. And looking at the characters coming in Wave 6, most of them have pretty obvious choices for their track as well. Diddy Kong is either the upcoming GC and DK Mountain, although on the slight chance it doesn't end up coming, GBA Riverside Park is worth the substitute, and even if DK Mountain does get in, I'd argue if it's better with Donkey Kong rather than Diddy leaving him Riverside Park. Funky Kong meanwhile gets their remaining DK track in the PCP, that being Wii DK Summit. It makes sense, Funky Kong was introduced in Wii, and both the character and the track have a very strong extreme sports vibe. Pauline, on the other hand, has her track as New York Minute. She's the mayor of New Donk City in Super Mario Odyssey, which is obviously meant to be the in-game representation of New York, and she actually is the mayor of New York in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. And then there's Peachette, who has nothing, really. I guess Paris Promenade? It's not a very strong fit. But then again, I have to give credit where credit is due. It doesn't seem like there are that many perfect replacements for Peachette's unique position. Sure, the Hammer Bro family would be more interesting characters with their personalities and their unique history of being skipped over in Mario Kart, much like Kamek prior to them, but they unfortunately are just a species, while Peachette, for better or worse, is a unique individual, which will likely take precedence, especially after Wiggler's inclusion. Captain Toad might seem like a better choice in that regard, but he's just a reskin of Toad, while Peachette does have her own unique model and animations alongside the rest of the new characters. King Baba might seem like the best of both worlds, but he originated from Super Mario 64, a 3D Mario game, and with Super Mario Bros. Wonder, a 2D Mario game on the way. It just makes sense for Peachette, who also originated from a 2D Mario game, to come to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and bring more hype to the game. It just doesn't seem like there's a replacement that outdoes Peachette in every single way, and also let me complain about her for the second half of this video. Will you excuse me for a minute? I'm gonna go take a walk. Nabbit's entire existence completely eradicates the need for Peachette in nearly every single way imaginable. I'm sorry. I'm incredibly biased regarding both these characters. Let me calm down a bit. Okay. Let's compare and contrast the two to demonstrate my point. Peachette's first ever appearance was in New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe as the powered up version of Toadette with the Super Crown, which is one of those powers that you look at and then you ask yourself, why do I feel like there are further implications with this power up? Looking at you, Peepaloon. Regardless, Peachette has been in existence for 4 years, and across those 4 years, she's made 4 total appearances, just barely breaking even. One of those is New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, her debut game, One of those is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as a Spirit, which is just a PNG with a boss fight attached. One of those is Mario Kart Tour, game in which Peachette is one of 265 total drivers, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which hasn't even happened yet, but by the end of 2023, it will be her most recent appearance. All of the rest of these took place in 2019. She had been missing for 3 years, up until recently. I wouldn't say it was a better time, but it would have been much worse if she were more involved. In addition to all of this, she really wasn't a necessary addition to New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Her role as a semi-easy mode character just doesn't really work when her abilities only work when she has the power-up, which isn't a guarantee and therefore bad as an easy mode character, regardless of how easy she's meant to be. In addition to this, her existence actively limits co-op gameplay in the game, leaving the ability of 4 players to play together only possible if one of them picks an easy character. It's a minor nitpick, but considering how much the multiplayer was part of this game's identity, sabotaging it is essentially one of the worst things she could do. Her design also isn't anything to write home about. While there was clearly intent to make her look like a cross between Peach and Toadette, hence the name, she just looks like the doll a small girl's mother points to when she says that they have a Peach doll at home. And it isn't a pretty doll either. She also doesn't have much of a personality. Happy isn't a personality trait, it's a state of being, and I don't really think there's that much else to really say about her. Actually, wait, annoying is a personality trait. I cannot stand her voice. Again, the middle ground between Toadette and Peach just doesn't work. So how does Nabbit outdo this mess of a character in every conceivable way as far as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC goes? Well, for starters, he has more history. Nabbit originated in New Super Mario Bros. U in 2012, giving him 11 years of history as compared to Peachette's 4. Nabbit's made good use of those 11 years too, making a whopping 16 appearances in various types of games, such as 2 Mario Party games, a Mario Golf game, 2 Mario and Luigi games, the exact same Mario and Sonic at the Olympics game twice, and 2 Smash Bros. Games as the Stage Hazard, a role that fits his original incarnation as a troublesome pest in New Super Mario Bros. U. He's also carried on this role in his one Mario Kart appearance in Tour, being added in 2020 as compared to Peachette's 2019. However, he's also expanded his role outside of that, becoming the go-to true easy mode character for 2D platforming titles, including New Super Luigi U and the upcoming New Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which will likely be his most recent appearance at the end of 2023. These roles that he fills as Mischief Maker and Indestructible Simple Character give Nabbit 2 important niches to fill, as compared to Peachette, who couldn't even fill one. He's also a much more unique individual, given his Bowser Jr.-like mask and the fact that he's a purple rabbit. The only other rabbits we've really seen in the Mario universe are the rabbits, who I'm not counting for obvious reasons, and the Broodals, which are a much more realistic shade of white and aren't related to Bowser Jr. in any way, shape, or form. Yet, he's also got such a fun personality due to his mischievousness, which makes him feel more like an actual character as compared to a princess-shaped boy. And on top of all that, he's an incredibly cool character. I will admit to having heard complaints about him being annoying, but not only is that kind of the point of the character, the people who make such complaints are generally in the vast minority as far as I can tell. Regarding Peachette, it's pretty clear that the vast majority either don't have strong opinions about this character, or dislike her to some extent. And then people wonder why I'm mad about a recent fan favorite getting excluded due to a recent fan least favorite. As for Nabbit, I'm still holding out hope that we get him and another character or two as a surprise reveal with the rest of Wave 6. There was a change in how rival characters worked earlier on in the BCP, and the changes led many to believe that Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach, Metal/Gold Mario, and Pink Gold Peach would be stacked onto Mario and Peach. Sorted accordingly, of course. If Peachette also gets stacked, seeing as she is just a powered-up version of Toadette that looks nearly identical to Peach, that would leave room for 3 additional characters. Nabbit would make a lot of sense here, as would King Baba and the Hammer Bro family, as I mentioned earlier. But even if Peachette gets her own slot, we would likely get one of the 2 added characters alongside Nabbit, the perfect candidate for a secret bonus in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's not even mentioning the possibility of just adding another row. And, as a closing thought, I would like to address something important here. My disdain for Peachette doesn't mean I hate anyone who does like Peachette. Yes, I do think that she was the worst inclusion in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think even Pink Gold Peach has more reason to exist. But at the end of the day, we're talking about fictional characters here. And while I feel justified in my frustration towards one character getting into one of my favorite games while another character didn't, that doesn't mean I should get upset at real people. The same goes for everyone else, regardless of how you feel about anything. Let's spread positivity instead of negativity. Now go down in the comment section and leave your thoughts, and we'll have some nice conversations going about it. And also you can subscribe while you're down there. We're really close to 10 subscribers, and I have a lot of content regarding Mario Kart planned for when Wave 6 is finally released. And remember, went online, specifically in my comment section, but also just everywhere. Don't be an ass.